Beate here and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to tell you why I love going to the tailor. I've made some videos of alterations before and after, of dyeing of clothing, fixing of things, but this is a clothing specific video. I also want to share why you should fall in love with tailoring. I'm going to share with you what I had tailored recently, the before and after of those items. And then I will share some ideas with you that I think you might be able to apply to your own wardrobe, and also show you a few physical examples and bring some pieces up close to the camera and show you what is possible and what is not. I bought this Reformation top in 2021. I fell in love with it immediately. I love the blue and white toile fabric. It's made out of 100% linen, so one of my favorite fabrics, really great for summer. The smocking at the back is really great because it really forms to your own body and can help more people fit into the same top. I love the top, but I didn't reach for it as much as I wanted to or intended to. And sometimes this happens. You really bought it with lots of care and you really had a look at every single piece and design element of it, but it doesn't work for you. And I just didn't end up reaching for it. So I asked myself, what do I have to do in order to wear this top? And I realized that I find that the sleeves are too overwhelming for me. They are just too big and it looks kind of weird with my proportions. So what I did was I folded the sleeves in and tried to create a smaller, shorter sleeve with it. So still keeping the fullness of it, but just trying to see what it will look like in a shorter type of version. So I folded it in and tried it on a couple of times, and even with different bottoms to see if the proportion is now going to be better if I were to cut it off. Because obviously if you cut it off, it's cut off. So after some thinking, I decided I'm going to go through with it, and I cut off the sleeves, or asked the tailor rather, to cut the sleeves off and put in a small elastic band. Because I still wanted that little puffiness of it, but not the completely full length or 3/4 length arm. But the sleeves, and they look great, but the elastic is just a little bit too tight. It's gonna bother me wearing this for an entire day, but I really like the look of it. You're on the right track. And I am very, very happy with the end result. I've already worn it probably more times since I've had it tailored than what I wore it beforehand. So I'm gonna wear it this summer so much, and I am very happy that I did this and it looks great. The first time they put in the elastic, it was slightly too tight, and I asked them to loosen it up a bit. So if small things, even after altering, still bugs you, just go back and ask them, listen, this is too tight, or, you know, it's not short enough, for instance, let's go even higher. Don't get too excited in the moment, really just think about it for a second, but really alter it until it is perfect. The second item is this skirt. It's one of the items that I made myself, and I currently don't have sewing machines on me because I've moved countries and I haven't bought machines yet. So this would have been a very easy alteration for myself to do. But in any case, I went into the tailor and I realized that this skirt is just too long for my own liking. And literally 1.5 inches will make all of the difference to me. And so I did it, and I'm very happy with the end result. So the skirt is perfect. I bought this blazer on, I think it was like a 60 or 70% off sale, and I was so chuffed with it. I've been eyeing a navy velvet blazer for such a long time, and I was also trying to find one without gold buttons. This is not completely silver, it's more like of a champagne-y type of color, I'd say, but it's close enough to silver that I was fine with it. Also, this is something great you can also do, is just changing up the buttons. So even if I found one with gold buttons, I could have changed it for silver. That is also something a tailor can do for you. Side note. But in any case, I love this blazer to bits, and I really measured myself properly before making this purchase to ensure that this blazer will fit me. But I took it into the tailor because I currently don't have as much knowledge as I want on the perfect fit for blazers and coats, especially when talking about menswear, but also even women's wear. So I wanted to take it in because this guy really knows what he's talking about, and I wanted to ask him, I don't want to look, you know, as if I don't know what's going on. I really want to look perfect and super stylish in this blazer. I asked him if we can improve the fit of this blazer. The one thing he pointed out, it is perfect within my waist. You can kind of see that it goes in like a little bit of an hourglass type of figure that it forms, and giving that shape to a blazer is a really beautiful element. So there was nothing that was bothering him, but the only thing that he said was it is slightly too long for my arms, which I was quite surprised about because I have quite long arms. But in any case, I was like, you know what? I take your opinion and let's fix that. So we wanted to shorten the sleeve, but very important here, it has buttons on the side. So if you cut off the sleeve like right here at the cuff, it's going to look odd because you're going to go too close to the buttons. So this was definitely a little bit more of a technical fixture, and he had to shorten it from the shoulder. So he had to open up the blazer, open up the lining and shorten it by actually removing the sleeve, cutting it a wee bit shorter and reattaching it. But anyway, it is now absolutely perfect, and I absolutely love this blazer. This is something that I will wear out on dates, to dinner, to formal events, over dresses, with jeans, with trousers, with so many things. This is truly going to be one of the pieces that I think have in my wardrobe forever. So very happy with this blazer, absolutely stunning. I bought this dress end of last year for a Christmas party, and I really liked it for so many reasons that I won't get into now, but I felt like it was just a little bit too long for my own liking, so I decided to shorten it a wee bit, and I now think it is the perfect length. But if I were to change my mind, it's super easy to even shorten this a little bit more. And I suppose if I really wanted to go all the way, I can even make this a mini dress. But it's definitely going to change the overall look and feel of the dress. So before you make big alterations, really try and create that silhouette, maybe by folding it in and trying to see if it's going to look good before you cut off too much, because again, you can't go back. And then my last example are these two t-shirts. They used to be bodysuits, and I now know that I can't wear bodysuits, or have to be very careful because I'm quite tall. They can be very uncomfortable if I'm wearing them, even for a short amount of time. It feels like, yeah, it's really uncomfortable. So I decided, instead of getting rid of the bodysuits, I'm just gonna cut off the bottom bit and make them into like little cropped t-shirts. So this is something that I'll have in my wardrobe and just wear casually. If you have a longer torso with shorter legs and you want to create the optical illusion of having longer legs and looking taller, a great idea is to actually shorten all of your t-shirts or the top bit in order for your legs to look longer, so you don't have this extremely long, you know, baggy type of look. Like, really try and emphasize that cropped type of look. And if you cut off an inch and a half, of course, according to your body, cutting that piece off can make you look so much taller, and that is a great idea for you in the future. So that perfectly leads me into some of the ideas I want to share with you as to what tailoring you can do. So we've already spoken about shortening t-shirts. That is something you can do with basically everything, whether it's skirts, pants, trousers, dresses. It's very easy to shorten things, or at least most things, depending on the fabric and how it was made, the amount of detailing, paneling and seams it has. But that is something a tailor will definitely be able to guide you as to how much to remove in order for it to look great on you, and also how much you can shorten it that it still fits the design of that item. I've spoken about exposing your ankle, especially if you are short. It can really help you look taller. So that is something that you can consider doing. Making things longer is not usually a possibility because of the seam allowance or the hem size. So if you are rather tall and you know that things usually sit too short on you, I would really look for items that have this built-in seam allowance so that you know you can make it longer and take it to a tailor. So let me quickly show you how to do that. At the bottom of this trouser, you'll see if I fold it over, the hem size here is what? I'd say at least 2.5 inches. So I can potentially take it out and have this entire piece on the inside be part of my trouser. So this is a great example of a pant that you can buy and know that you can make longer. Following that idea, it is very easy to take things in. Maybe you've lost weight, or you would like to define your waist a little bit more, but it's not always that easy to make things bigger. Especially if you look at the side seams of an item, there's not usually a lot of fabric in that seam. The side seams are usually 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. So you can't really do that, but you can sometimes take out the darts that has already been put into an item in order to create more space. But making something bigger is usually a little bit more technical than making something smaller. If you are quite price sensitive, I would definitely ask the tailor how much an alteration would be before committing to it, because sometimes things can be a little bit more expensive if it is more complex work in comparison to something quite basic. A basic example is the shortening of that skirt that I showed earlier, but something more complex was the example of, say, the blazer that I was showing. The reason why the blazer is quite technical is because you also have to open up the lining, and taking it in here on the shoulder is definitely more difficult than cutting in a straight line, for instance, by shortening the skirt. The reason why I love tailoring is because clothes are made according to a fit model or a sample size with specific proportions. And of course, all of our bodies are unique. And if you're not wearing something that is completely oversized, that is obviously going to be more forgiving for the shape that you actually are, and you want it to sit like really perfectly, you'll have to get a tailor in order to alter that piece according to your own proportions. Now, of course, that is something we might not want to do with every single piece in our wardrobes. But for those special pieces, or for things that are just not working out and you obviously bought it for a reason, but it's not working for you, or something just doesn't look right. For those pieces, it's a really good idea to take it to a tailor and explain some of your discomfort with it or what is bugging you visually, and then the tailor might have some ideas for you in order to alter that piece so that it looks better on you. I also really like tailoring because it helps you optimize what you have, getting the maximum wear out of each piece that you own, and reducing waste. It is extremely wasteful to buy something, only wear it a couple of times, and then pass it on. Even if you sell it, donate it, it's really not a good habit to get into. Rather take time to really focus in on what you want and only buy the things that you truly want and truly need and will fit into your wardrobe. And if you buy something with the intention of getting it tailored, just get it done. It really helps reduce all of the clothing that ends up in landfills. And you might think donating is a good idea, and I'm not saying it's bad all of the time, but sometimes it actually doesn't reach the people who actually need it, and it goes to countries where it literally just sits there in piles and piles, forming mountains, and it actually causes a really big waste problem and waste management issue in a lot of other countries. So the whole idea behind tailoring is something that I truly adore, love, and will continue doing for the rest of my life. If you've enjoyed this video, I will have some videos linked for you that I think you might enjoy, where I talk about some other things that you can fix and alter and mend, protect, take care of, and so forth. If you decide to tailor anything, please do let me know in the comments comments down below. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you next Sunday. Thank you everyone. Have a good one. Bye. I'm so happy you did it this way. This is absolutely amazing.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you.